Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Sunday Basic Sunday. This is the one day of the week where I play Strat-O-Matic Basic. It's not my favorite by any means, but I know there are a lot of Strat-O-Matic Basic fans out there. So for those folks, one day a week, I will give them myself to finish out this 1962 season. I'm picking a different game every Sunday just to show all the teams, or at least show as many as possible. We have the Detroit Tigers taking on Chicago White Sox in this one. Sam Jones on the mound for Detroit. Eddie Fisher on the mound for the White Sox. So Bill Bruton will lead things off. And of course, have to have the tools of the trade if you're going to do basic. So we got the basic fielding chart right here. And then we have the basic strategy chart right here. So everything's close by if needed. And I think we're just about ready to get going here. I'm going to only roll the D20 if it's needed. It's not like the Super Advanced where you roll the D20 all the time, checking balks and wild pitches and things like that. So D20 will sit to the side and only be pulled in when needed. All right, Eddie Fisher taking on Bill Bruton. That's the pitching matchup. So I can get a little closer here. All right, here we go. See, I might be able to dim the glare just a tad. Maybe that helps some. I don't know. We'll find out. I won't know until I look at it later. Here's Bruton, 5'8". Fisher, that's a fly ball to center field. And Bruton flies to center to start the ball game. That'll bring up Dick McAuliffe, second baseman. It's a 6'9", and that's going to be a base on balls. So first walk. McAuliffe's not much of a stealing threat. He's a D, so he will stand pat. For Bob Farley. That's a 6'10", and that's a fly to center. 2 down. And it'll bring up Rocky Colavito. For whatever reason, I don't know if he's injured. I guess because he's injured. Al Kaline is not on the roster for the Tigers. There's Colavito, 2-2, and that's a line out to as many outs as possible. There were already 2 outs, so just a liner to third. And that takes care of the Tigers in pretty short order. We go to the bottom of the first. Detroit nothing. Chicago coming to bat. Sam Jones on the mound will face Jim Landis. Landis, the center fielder. 2-5, and that's a strikeout. Landis out on strikes. It'll bring up Nellie Fox, second baseman. I don't know a lot of these players. I do know Nellie Fox, but a lot of the guys I don't know. But I do know Nellie Fox. I have heard of him. 3-7. Pops it up to second base. That's 2 away. For Joe Cunningham. No relation to Richie as far as I know. Although they do call his mother Mrs. C. 4-6, and that's going to be a walk. 2-out walk. Issued by Jones. And again, Cunningham a D stealer, so not going anywhere. For Floyd Robinson. Robinson, the right fielder in this game. That's a 1-8 for Robinson. That's a straight out single. 1 base advancement. Runner Cunningham could try to move to third with 2 outs. He's a 13. 1-15. You add 2 when there are 2 outs. 1-15. He's going to try for third base. 1-15. And he's in there. So runners are on the corners now with 2 outs. For Charlie Maxwell. Maxwell holding down left field in this game. 6-8, and that's going to be a single. That'll score the run. Cunningham comes in to score. It's 1-0 Chicago. RBI single from Maxwell. Robinson again, a 1-15. And he's out going to third. So the single, we'll say it assumed to go to center. So it's going to be, he's going to be out 8-5. trying for third base, but the White Sox do take a 1-0 lead. As we head to the top of the second, and leading off for the Tigers will be Norm Cash. Certainly have heard of Norm Cash. Definitely heard of him. That's a 310, and that's a straight-out home run for Norm Cash. He had 39 home runs in the regular season. 310, no question about it. Bring up nice and close. 310 is a home run. So Norm Cash homer ties the ball game at a one run apiece. Brand new ball game. That brings up Steve Boros. I remember him more of being a manager than a player. 1-6 for Boros, and he's going to ground it to short. Aparicio there, 1 away. For Chico Fernandez. 6-12, and he pops it up to Aparicio, 2 down. For Mike Rourke, the catcher. That is a 5-6, and it's ground ball second base, first X chance of the game. Second baseman is Fox. He's a 2. We're in this column. Roll the D20. In an 11. 2 and 11 is an out 3, and that's all that matters. Nobody's on base, just a ground out. But the Tigers tie the score on the home run from Norm Cash. We go to the second, bottom of the second, rather. Still, it's now tied at 1. And Al Smith due up for the White Sox. He is the third baseman. 3-4, and he hits a home run. One good home run deserves another. 3-4, Al Smith home run. He hit 16 of them real world. And the White Sox grab the lead right back, 2-1, as Al Smith goes deep. Brings up Luis Aparicio. One of the, I'd say probably one of the top, say 4 or 5 all-time greatest defensive shortstops, from what I understand. 2-11, ground ball to short, 1 away. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame, and he certainly is not in there. If he's in there, it's not because of his hitting. He's just like Ozzie Smith in there for defense. All right, here's Cam Cameron. 2-3, and that's a ground ball to short, 2 down. Got to bring up the pitcher, Fisher. He uses pitcher hitting card number 1. That's off the pitcher card anyway, 6-6, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Jones. But the White Sox take a 2-1 lead on the home run from Al Smith. Go to the third, 2-1, favor of the Chi Sox. Leading off will be Jones, and he uses pitcher hitting card number 6. See what he can do with that. That is a 1-5, and he grounds it to third. 1 away, back for the top of the order, and Bill Bruton. 4-7 for Bruton, and that's a strikeout for Fisher. And that is his first strikeout of the ball game. Not really a strikeout guy. Only struck out 88 in 183 innings. So not really known for his strikeouts. Here is Dick McAuliffe. 1-7 for McAuliffe. He grounds it to third. Smith's got it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Eddie Fisher. And the White Sox maintain a 2-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. Hope your Sunday is going well, or whenever you're watching this. Here's Jim Landis. It's meant to be watched on a Sunday, though. That's why I call it Sunday Basic Sunday. Rumor has it had something to do with U2 and Bono, but that's, that's only coincidental. 6-7, and that is a 1-14 single. Anything else he lines to short. And that's a liner to short. That is snagged over there by Fernandez. That time Chico was the man on that one. He makes the play. 1 down for Nellie Fox. 3-8 for Fox, and he's going to get a 1-6 triple, 7-20 for a double. That is a triple for Nellie Fox. He had 7 triples real world. Got one right here. And with one out, they're going to bring the infield in against Mr. Cunningham. Infield is in. 5-5, but it's a strikeout, so it doesn't matter where the infield was. That's strikeout number 3. Now the infield can revert back to their normal positions for 2 outs for Floyd Robinson. 1-7 for Robinson, and that's going to bring home a run. 1-5 for a double, 6-20 is a single, and that's an RBI single for Robinson. White Sox now lead it 3-1. Robinson's 2 for 2. There's Charlie Maxwell. Tigers might get some bullpen activity going shortly. Maxwell, 6-6, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. But a single run in all 3 innings so far for the White Sox, and they lead it 3-1. They turn that 3-1 lead over to Eddie Fisher, and it's going to be Bob Farley. It's going to lead things off. 1-7, and he grounds it to Mr. Fox at second base, 1 away. For Rocky Colavito. 1-7, he struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Mr. Fisher. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Norm Cash. Cash homered his first time up. 1-7, this time they won't pitch very close, won't pitch to him. They'll just kind of pitch around him, and it's going to be in a walk for walk number 2 for Fisher. 2 outs. Cash not going to try anything. Here is Steve Boros. Boros at 2-10, and that's a pop out to Aparicio to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Tigers. Bottom of the 4th, still 3-1. And Al Smith will lead it off. Third baseman, followed by Aparicio and Carrion. 4-10, and that's ground ball to second. Easy play there for McAuliffe, 1 away. For Louis Aparicio. 3-4, and that's a line out right to McAuliffe, 2 down. For the catcher, Cam Carrion. 2-9, and he's going to get a base hit. 2 out single. That will allow the pitcher, Eddie Fisher, to clear the lineup. And even if he makes an out, you start with your leadoff man next inning. It's 2-11, and he's going to ground it to McAuliffe again. McAuliffe involved in all 3 outs, but it does clear the pitcher out of the way, and Landis will lead off next inning. Go to the 5th, it's still 3-1 in favor of the White Sox. Due up for the Tigers, it'll be Chico Fernandez. Chico popped to short his first time up. That's a 4-7, and that's another strikeout for Fisher. It's 3rd. Brings up Mike Rourke, the catcher. 6-10, and that's a fly to center, 2 down. Jones will hit for himself. He's a decent hitter. Pitcher hitting card number 6. We get a 1-7, and he will ground it to short. Aparicio handles it, no issues. Bottom of the 5th we go, still 3-1 Tigers. Jones back out, and he will face the top of the order, Jim Landis. Landis is 0 for 2. 5-5, and that's going to be a strikeout for Jones. That is his 5th. Bring up Nellie Fox. He tripled and scored his last time up. 6-9, and that's a 1-2 double. Anything else will be just a single. And it's a 1-out single for Nellie Fox. He's no threat to run. Brings up Joe Cunningham. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. Might be a double play. McAuliffe, though, was a 4, so that's a little iffy. Second base and a 4 way over here in this column. Get a 10, 4 and a 10. Out with no runners on base, 4. And that says if no runners are forced, runners whole. With one or more runners forced, batter is safe. Runner on first, out going to second. So basically it's a fielder's choice. So we will call that 4 to 6 for out number 2. And sends up Floyd Robinson. 2 outs, and Cunningham, the new runner at first base. He is also no threat to run. 4-8, and that's a home run, 1 to 7 for Robinson. 8 to 20, just a deep fly out. And it's just a deep fly out. So Jones got a break there. Takes care of Robinson. Takes care of the White Sox at the end of 5. We're still looking at a 3-1 ball game. Top of the order due up for Detroit, Bill Bruton. Bruton tootin'. He is 0 for 2. 1-7, he grounds it to third. Easy play for Smith, 1 away. Brings up Dick McAuliffe, second baseman. 2-11, and that's a pop out to second base, 2 down. Tigers have done nothing other than the solo home run from Cash. It's the only hit they have in the game. Without that, Fisher would be pitching a no-hitter. Here's Farley. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to second. Another 1-2-3 inning. Go the Tigers. Tigers had a really good team in 61, but they fell off big time in 62. And having their troubles here. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's going to be Charlie Maxwell stepping to the plate. That is a 4-7, and that's going to be a leadoff walk issued to Maxwell. For Jones, that is his second walk. And we'll send up Al Smith. 2-8 for Smith, and that is a pop out to short. Hernandez makes the play for Luis Aparicio. 1-4, and that is a line out to third. Steve Boros snags it. 2 down for the catcher, Cam Cameron. 1-10 for Cameron. He grounds to short. Hernandez handles that, and that'll do it for the White Sox. We completed 6. It's still 3-1. Favor the White Sox. Tigers will have the heart of the order. Colavito, Cash, and Boros due up. Time for them to make a move here. And try to show some life on offense. The only hit, like I said, the only hit and run of the game is Norm Cash's home run. Other than that, they've got nothing. A couple of walks, and that's it. So Colavito, 2-4, and it's ground ball to third, so 1 away. 1 down, and that sends up Norm Cash. They can't expect Norm Cash to do everything. Or can they? I don't know. 6-5, and that's a home run, 1-11. He may do it again. 12 to 20 is a double. And that's a home run again for Norm Cash. Maybe they should have walked him again. Second home run for Cash. He's got both hits and both runs batted in for Detroit. Lead is cut to 3-2. And here's Steve Boros. That is a 2-8 for Boros, and that's a walk. That'll be the third walk issued by Mr. Fisher. Fisher is set to lead off next inning for the White Sox, so they'd love to get him through this inning, if at all possible. Here's Chico Fernandez. And that's a 2-6 for Fernandez, and that's a home run for Chico Fernandez. A 2-run home run, and all of a sudden, Detroit, I talk about their bad offense, and now they've come to life. 2-run home run, 3 runs in the inning. The Tigers take a 4-3 lead. And can the White Sox afford to let Fisher keep going? I don't know. They got to do a bullpen activity, but like I said, they lead off. He leads off next inning, so they love to get him through the inning. 5-3. That's a fly ball left field X. We're looking at the left fielder Maxwell. Maxwell is a 3 in the outfield, so we're looking right in the middle column. We get a 1. 3 and a 1 is going to be an out 4. Nobody on base, so it doesn't matter about what kind of out it is. It's just going to be an out to right field. Out number 2. And now with the lead, man, Jones may want to keep pitching here. He's done pretty well here as of late. Plus, he's hitting off pitcher hitting card number 6. 6-5, and that's a home run 1-11. 12-20 double. And that's gone. A 2-run home run or a solo home run by the pitcher. And that's, I guess you want to call it one of the knocks on basic is anybody can hit a home run. And this one is going to be Eddie Fisher going deep. I'm not Eddie Fisher, I'm sorry. Jones. Sam Jones going deep. 4 runs in the inning. It's an Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning. Fisher trying to get that elusive third out. 1-3, and he finally gets it. But that'll do it for Fisher. Tigers take a 5-3 lead. And Fisher is gone. Fisher will go 7 innings. He will give up 5 runs, all earned. He gave up 4 hits. They were all home runs. Every hit he gave up was a home run. 4 hits, they were all home runs. A 2-run homer and 3 solo home runs. He walked 3, struck out 3. And now Sam Jones, all of a sudden, he's in line for the win. And we'll look at the White Sox and see who they want to use as a pinch hitter. I pulled their available hitters off the Action PC. I've got 4 of them available that we can go to. Sammy Esposito, Bob Rosselli, although he's a backup catcher and only gets 188, so he's probably not even in the mix. 235 for Esposito. Sadowski, 231. Hirschberger, 262. Jones is a right-hander, so even though it's basic, we're still going to play it lefty-righty as far as decision-making. So they will go with the lefty Sadowski. So Bob Sadowski will get the pinch-hitting call for the White Sox. Bob Sadowski. He will pinch hit here in the 7th. And then depending on how the Tigers or how the White Sox do in this inning, depends on who they use as the relief pitcher. If they come back to tie the game or take the lead, that could be one guy. If they're still down 5-3, that would be another guy. So here's Sadowski. Whoa, that one didn't go. That one got popped out of the thing there, didn't it? Like a rejected. All right, 1-5 for Sadowski. Struck him out. So Sadowski strikes out in the pinch. 1 away, and that takes us back to the top of the order for Jim Landis. This is probably the last inning for Jones. 1-7, and that's a walk. For Jones, his 3rd walk. Didn't want to do that because now it brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Nellie Fox. Landis, I don't think he's any threat to run either. Not only is a B stealer, but catcher Rourke is a -4 effect because he's a 1 catcher, which takes away 4. So, no, they're not going to try to steal. Here's Nellie Fox, 3-10, and that's a single. Single for Fox. And Landis has a chance to get to 30, runs at a 17. So 1-17, he'll make it. And he's out trying for 3rd. Wow. What a mistake that was. He's out, we'll call it 8-5, but you thought on a 85% chance to get him to 3rd base with less than 2 outs where he could score on a sac fly, that would make a good move, but the D20 came up as a 20. The old devil die showed up. Here's Joe Cunningham. That's a 5-7, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So 7 strikeouts now for Sam Jones. And I think that's going to be it for Sam Jones. So now the White Sox will need a new pitcher. And we'll see who they have in the bullpen that's available to them. And I've got them with 4 pitchers that are showing as available. We've got a right-hander, Don Zanny. We have a right-hander, Mike Joyce. And 2 left-handers, Juan Pizarro and Dean Stone. So let's see who they might want to go to first of all. Looks like they will go to a lefty. So it's going to be Dean Stone. So Dean Stone will come on for the White Sox. Mr. Stone. And he will be facing McCullough to start the 8th inning. Stone facing McCullough. 3-3, and that is a pop out second base. 1 away, and that brings up Bob Farley. 5-3, and that's a walk. First walk issued by Stone. That brings up Colavito. 1-4 for Colavito. That's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 tailor-made double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play ends the inning. Giovanni's Tailor Shop, Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area and you have tailoring needs, stop by and see them. Tell them Demo sent you, and they'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. So looking at the bullpen for the Tigers, they have 5 available arms in the bullpen. 4 righties, 1 lefty. The only lefty they have is Ron Nischwitz. They also have Ron Klein, Phil Regan, Jerry Casale or Casale, not sure how it's pronounced, and Terry Fox. Fox is like their closer, 16 saves. So there might be a double switch. They could double switch out Farley, the right fielder, and get a better defensive outfielder out there. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring in Bubba Morton. So Bubba Morton will hit in the number 9 spot and play right field, where he is a 2. And then Farley's spot is now the pitcher spot. Pitcher spot goes there. And the pitcher is Terry Fox. Fox defensively is a 3. So there we go. Morton bats in the 9 spot. Fox bats in the 3rd spot. And we'll get the numbers on Jones before we go any further. And also need to make the change in the lineup to take Farley out and put the pitcher's card in his spot, right behind McCullough. Farley leaves the game, and Bubba Morton goes in the number 9 position. So we'll get these details taken care of. And Dean Stone. Wait a minute, I got the teams backwards here. Should not be Stone. Stone's on the White Sox, isn't he? Stone's on the White Sox, not on the it's supposed to be Fox. Stone already pitched 1 inning. It's Fox. I had the guys out of order there. So it is Mr. Fox, Mr. Terry Fox. But for Jones, he is going to give up 3 runs. They were earned in 7 innings of pitching. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. He walks 3, and he struck out 7. and he's in line to get the win if Terry Fox can hold the fort. Right now it is Floyd Robinson, your batter. Floyd Robinson. Let's go this way like that. Okay, Floyd Robinson will lead it off for the White Sox, who are down 5-3. That's a 3-6. 1-8's a single. 9-20 he lines out, and that's a line out right to the second baseman McAuliffe. One away for Charlie Maxwell. Homered his last time. I'm sorry, I was looking up here. He walked his last time. 5-12 on Fox is a line out right to the shortstop, Fernandez. 2 down, and brings up Al Smith. Smith homered in the second inning, gone 0 for 2 since. 2-5, and it's a 1-13 single. Anything else, he lines it to Boros at third. And that will be a base hit. 2-out single for Al Smith. Brings the tying run to the plate, and Luis Aparicio for the White Sox. Do you think about pinch hitting for Aparicio? That'd be a tough call. Man, that would be a tough call. I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to let Aparicio hit. 1-8, and he lines it to Boros at third to end the inning. So we go to the ninth. Still 5-3 in favor of the Tigers. Stone back out. He'll face Cash, Boros, and Fernandez, the scheduled hitters. Cash, Boros, and Fernandez. They are the scheduled hitters. Cash is homered twice, 6-4. This one's a fly ball center field X. So we're going to the outfield chart for the center fielder Landis. He's a 1. So he's going to get it. The only way he makes an error is on an 18. Any other play, he'll be out. He just has to avoid 18, basically. And he does. So he makes the play. There's 1 away. That's a terrible looking 8. Anyway, you know what it is. It's a fly to center. 1 away. I never said my penmanship was my strong suit. Here's Boros. 5-11, and that is a base on balls. Second walk issued by Stone. That'll send up Chico Fernandez. 2-9, and that's a single for Fernandez. Boros is going to just go station to station. First and second, 1 out for the number 8 hitter, Mike Rourke. Bubba Morton is on deck via the double switch. 2-10, and that's a pop out to short. Aparicio there, 2 down. And now it's the first at bat for Bubba Morton. Came on the double switch to also help their defense as well. He's a 262 hitter, 4 home runs for Bubba Morton. First and second, 2 outs. 6-5, that's a strikeout, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the ninth, last chance coming up for the White Sox against Terry Fox, the closer. It'll be carry on a pinch hitter for Stone, and then Landis. So looking back at their pinch hitters, the best guy average-wise is Hirschberger. So it will be Hirschberger who will pinch hit here in the ninth. Hirschberger. So it's going to be carry on, Hirschberger, and Landis for the bottom of the ninth against Terry Fox. 1-9, and that's a strikeout. Carry on is out, 1 away. And now the pinch hitter, Hirschberger. And Hirschberger, a 262 hitter. Whoa, that one popped out. 2-5 for Hirschberger, and that's a ground ball to short. Taken by Fernandez, 2 away. Last chance, Jim Landis. He's got to get on so the tying run can come to the plate. It's up to Landis to reach 411. Ground ball first base X. This could do it. Norm Cash is a 3. So as a first baseman and a 3, we're right in this middle column. Get a, what is that there? That is a 6. It's kind of hard to see it in the shadows there, but it is a 6. 3 and a 6 is going to be an out 1. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter about anything else. Cash gets it, flips to Fox covering, and there's your ball game. So the Tigers surprise the White Sox 5-3 and come away with a victory. Let's get the numbers on the 2 relief pitchers. Stone, 2 innings, 2 walks, just 1 hit, no runs, and he struck out 1. For Fox, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So Jones gets the win, Fox gets the save, and Fisher takes the loss. For Detroit, 5 runs on just 5 hits, and there were no errors. And for the White Sox, 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Only 5 hits by Detroit, but 4 of them were home runs. So that's the difference. Whereas the White Sox, other than they had a triple and a home run, but the other 7 were all singles. So you got to have productive. I'm sorry, there was a home run there too. So that's it. Yeah, they had a home run and a triple. So the other 7 were singles. So there you go. So the Tigers win it over the White Sox by the score of 5-3. And I said that they were a shadow of their former selves from the 61 season where they won 100 games. Let me just see exactly for sure what the 62 Tigers record was. I know in the Action PC game, they're in the replay, they're doing very poorly. 62 Tigers, how did they actually finish real world? They finished 85-76, not bad. White Sox 85-77, so a pretty even matchup as it turns out. And we kind of had an even matchup here. Just the long ball got them, and actually one that really hurt was the home run by the pitcher, but that just made it 5-3 instead of 4-3. So either way, there you go. Strat-O-Matic Basic on Sunday Basic Sunday. I'm recording this Saturday evening, and I will post it Sunday morning, most likely. I'm thinking about posting it Sunday morning. And then because Sunday afternoon, I want to post the History Maker Golf final round. And then Sunday night, we'll have the Colorado Rockies final game with the Kansas City Royals in the 2025 Strat-O-Matic replay for the Rockies. So that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play. However you choose to play it, we'll see you all down the road.